It's been a while, but we are back with more Clash Royale content. It's been a while because I have been having exams. Not very fun, but we are back with more Clash Royale. Today's video is going to be ladder pushing and also some GC games, Grand Challenge games. I got to 9 wins, didn't win, but had some really close games in it as well. First game, we're against this Herlin person. He's really good. I saw his profile, he has like 10 Grand Challenge wins. And he's playing this Hog Cycle deck. I'm playing a Hog Cycle deck. He's playing this Hog Cycle deck with Rocket and Bats instead of Earthquake and Fire Spirit. And he has Archers as well. He has a better matchup here, because he has that Rocket, which just obviously does a lot more damage than the Earthquake will ever do. Looks like we start off the match pretty bad actually, because I don't have my Tesla in cycle, and he just goes for Hog first place, so I have to cycle back to it. But now I think he outcycled me in the next rotation, just because I have to cycle so many cards just to get back to my Tesla. Yeah, and meanwhile he can double elixir, he can just rocket cycle me, and I can't do much. He fails the King Tower activation there, just pretty poorly played of it, but it's just such a good matchup. There my Tesla dies, but then I can just get a perfect log. The Hog still gets one hit. Hog's OP. Hog is OP, yeah. I'm gonna be playing this Hog Cycle deck, which is probably one of the best Hog Cycle decks in the meta right now, and that Fire Spirit, which I just prefer over the Ice Spirit because it does so much damage. I'm not too sure what kind of deck he's playing. It's probably just what the cards he has leveled up. I also have level 12 Earthquake because free to play, you know. I don't have to. Yeah, it's not a great advantage for us. So here we're heading into double elixir, 30 seconds left, and I go with an Earthquake prediction in there. It doesn't matter if it hits the tower, just to kill Tesla, but just anyway, you can see how the Archers are really are much better than the Firecracker in this matchup. Just because the Firecracker does much less damage per second. Here, I didn't actually know he had a rocket. I thought he had another spell, but I didn't really think why I didn't use it. Yeah, and then he rockets, so I'm like, oh, he's gonna win this. There's no way. He is going to win this. He just has that rocket. But now I go for a Hog, Fire Spirit. I actually outcycle him here, so my Hog gets a hit, I believe. Yeah, I outcycle his Tesla. But yeah, he just rockets, and there's really not that much I can do about it. I can just pressure, but he just goes Tesla, and then he goes for a and then he goes for a Valk, and then goes for a log. My Hog gets a hit there because he didn't log. I guess he's getting a little bit cocky because he knows he can win this with rocket cycle. I have to just keep pressuring because, you know, he's got that rocket cycle. You see, he knows what he's doing. He goes for a prediction rocket on my Hog and Valkyrie. I go for a Tesla here. I mean, it's a good Fire Spirit, it's a good Tesla, but there's just no way for me to win this. Like, just he has this Tesla. I even yeah, he goes with Tesla high as well, so there's no way for my Earthquake to hit it and the tower. And he goes for a rocket there, my tower's on like 500 HP. I'm just like, yeah, there's no way I can win this. I go for a Desperation Hog. I actually hit the Earthquake, yes, which is nice, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get a hit here, but he goes for a log, and I don't get the hit, which is very sad. Yeah, he goes for a rocket here, and my tower's on like 500 HP. I go for Earthquake, but I actually outcycled his Tesla. He didn't have enough elixir for it, and I get a hit. and I'm just like, oh wait, I can actually win this. And I quickly cycle back to an earthquake, and I what's the word? Snatch the victory. That's insane. Not even close. Yeah, as you can see, that guy's he's pretty good. Yeah, he's pretty good. Like 7.7 PP or whatever. He's pretty good at the game. Next game is actually ladder. In ladder, I've been having a bunch of fun recently with this Hunter Balloon minor cycle deck, which is really high skill in my opinion, but so fun to play. It's just so fun to play because you have that Hunter, which just is much better after the balance changes. Have you guys heard of level 14 though? That's kind of cool. I don't know why everyone's so like pissed about it. Like it's like a new concept. I mean, it's not a new concept, but it's pretty interesting. Well, anyway, this matchup is pretty difficult for Balloon Hunter. He just spams, and if I make one micro mistake, he just wins. So yeah, it's pretty difficult to win this matchup. Yeah, you have to play perfect, both offense and defense really, because if you overcommit with the balloon, they can just punish you by just spamming. Yeah, golem no skill. I just go in here because I don't think he has that many air counters, but then he just uses his mega minion and he goes for a NATO. And then I realize then I realize he's playing this golem deck. So I'm like, oh okay. At least he doesn't have cannon cart, which is really big in how I could maybe win this. But he's got E-barbs, and E-barbs are very scary when raged. So this push wasn't the greatest. He just E-barbs and everything dies. I have to like go with a Hunter Ice Golem to defend the rest of it. I would say this guy knows what he's doing, but like golem players do not know what they're doing. They kind of just spam and golem the back, and they win sometimes. I'm just forced to go with minor to pressure to cycle back to my another hunter. The key is to hunter first, and then hunter again, and then hunter again, and try to hunter again after that. I just delivery snowball his E-drag, which is very useful in most matchups. Like the delivery snowball kills flying machines, kills like mega minions almost. It's pretty useful. Here he's up by like a tiny amount of damage. It's whatever. I can get it back with a few minor shots. I believe I just go in here again. Yeah, I just go in. I don't think he's playing this that well, because he should be just goleming the back and then just going for a mega minion to defend my balloons. Yeah, and then building up a big push and then winning. But he just keeps over committing on defense, in my opinion. But I have to just keep up the pressure, so you can't do that. You can't build up a big push. Here, I outcycle his NATO, and I outcycle his NATO. He had to go with the baby dragon, and yeah, my loon gets a hit, which is really nice. Really nice win with a hard matchup as well. It's easy to win if you have high skill, but it's not if you don't. If you make like micro mistakes. Here was my first win of the GC, which is honestly like probably the second most intense, probably the second hardest win. I make a few micro errors, so that's why it was so close. But otherwise, yeah, it was a pretty difficult first GC win. Like this is one of the most difficult first wins I've had in a while. I'm back to playing Hog Cycle again because it's Hog Cycle is probably the most consistent deck in the meta right now, because it doesn't have that many bad matchups. Like it has a few, like Loon Freeze has a few Lava Hound, which is a bad matchup, but otherwise every other matchup is like a decent matchup. Anyway, he goes with the Goblin Giant here and his Lightning, which is a little bit strange because normally Goblin Giant Sparky decks just have that Rage and not Lightning. Instead, he doesn't have Rage, or does he? I can't remember. Anyway, I don't think he has Rage, so I suppose that's good for me. The Rage makes it so you can break through much easier with these decks. I'm pretty sure Rage is pretty important in Goblin Giant Sparky. Anyway, he didn't have it. He had Lightning instead, which is okay, but I can just easily cycle back to another Tesla. He starts off with this push and then he Lightnings, which kind of reveals his surprise factor. That's really good for me. Goblin Giant Sparky hasn't really been in the meta, I feel like. Sure, it's just like what, consistent and decent, but it's actually quite. Actually, I wouldn't say it's consistent. It's quite matchup heavily dependent, honestly. But here, I believe I just keep hog spamming, honestly. Yeah, I hog in the opposite lane when he goes Sparky in the back, just so he has to play something, otherwise it like takes half his tower. Here I just go with the Tesla to defend Tesla high because I realize he has Lightning for some reason. He actually kills it, but he has Goblin Giant behind the Sparky. I make an error there. Yeah, I make 2 errors there, which isn't great. But I managed to log back the Goblin Giant, so it gets in the Tesla, and I'm able to defend both sides without taking too much damage, kind of splitting the damage. The other side of the Dark Prince Electro Wizard combo kind of got more damage, but I honestly don't care, it doesn't matter. Here he has a pretty big push, but this is what I'm talking about. You want to cycle back to another Tesla, so you always have that second Tesla available to kite the other giant. Here I realized the Sparky's low on HP, so I just Earthquake the Electro Wizard and the Sparky, so it's down to like no HP. Here he go. I'm forced to pressure opposite lane again, just so he doesn't have this chance to build up like a huge push and I can't defend. He goes with another push here. I go Tesla in the middle, so the Sparky doesn't hit it. This was probably the best defense in the game. Just really perfect. No damage off this push. Yeah, that was really good. Here I go with a Hog Kite, which is really nice. He goes with a Lightning, but that leaves him with no elixir to defend my Hog, and he gets 2 hits, which is really big for me. Here I realize, oh, I can actually win this. I can actually win this. Sparky's a difficult matchup, especially if they have Rage, but I guess he doesn't here. But it's really difficult because you just have to defend everything perfectly and not overcommit on offense. Hog, in my opinion, the hardest part about Hog, about playing any Hog deck, like, well, Hog cycle deck, is just knowing how much do you want to go in on offense? How much do you want to commit into going on offense to not get wrecked on defense? Because you know, when you go with a Hog, right? Do you support it with a Valk? Do you Earthquake? Even if there's no building that place, like what do you do? What's the perfect amount of what's how much elixir do you want to invest into the push? That's the hardest bit about Hog, that like correct choice. Here I go with a really nice defensive sequence, and I just cycle back to another Earthquake, and that's just the end of the game. Really easy. I wouldn't say easy, but a really nice first GC win against a pretty difficult matchup. Here I think we go back to ladder, where I'm back to playing another Hunter Loon deck. Oh yeah, that's right. We're playing against E-Golem. One of the hardest matchups for Hunter Loon. Other than probably Balloon Freeze. Dude, Balloon Freeze like counters everything I play for some reason. It's interesting. I also play Balloon Freeze, but it just counters every deck I play here. Especially now E-Dragon. especially now Electro Giant is really bad now. Here he just goes in because that's how Eagle and players play. He just NATOs what my Hunter in, which is just really pointless. And I guess I get a really nice defense. I believe I go in here because I got that. Oh no, I use my Ice Golem, so I don't go in. If I had my Ice Golem, I would have gone in there and probably gone a hit or two because he doesn't have anything else in cycle. Yep, I go in now. He has to cycle like an Esper and then back to... Yeah, he has to cycle and then get back to his Inferno Dragon. But by that point, my Loon gets like 2 hits, I'm pretty sure. Yep, that's really nice. Really nice start for us. Just because I know it's... In single elixir, it's difficult for him to break through. But I kind of get a bad minor placement here, and he gets that chain upon my Hunter. My Hunter dies pretty quickly, but here I can just... Yeah, I kite everything away. The Inferno Dragon does like 2,000 damage on the other tower, but it's whatever. Yeah, I just defend that pretty... I did a pretty good job splitting the damage on both towers. Here he goes with E-Bobs, so I just... Really easy defend it. I don't think he should be E-bobbing the bridge in this matchup. He should just be building big pushes, because that's how you play E-Golem. Here, I wasn't expecting him to defend like that, so that's why I went in with the balloon. I expected him to sack his tower and build up a big push on the other side. But that's not what he did. And probably one of the reasons why I won this game. If your tower's at like what, 600 HP with an E-Golem player, just ignore it and then go in opposite lane. He starts building a big push, which is quite scary, but again, against any beatdown deck, you just want to cycle a Hunter, and then cycle another Hunter, and then cycle another Hunter. I've made this joke too many times. Yeah, it looks pretty scary, all of that elixir on the board, but with proper defense, you can just easily defend everything with your spells, with your delivery, with your snowball. And you want to make it when defending Eagle pushes for the healer not to touch anything. But here we get a really easy win against Eagle. Nice. Last game, I believe, is going to be my 9th win, my 8th win of the GC. Yeah, my 8th. Yeah, my 9th win? My 9th win of the GC, which is actually my last win, and I lost the previous game. I mean, I lost the game after that, but this was a pretty good win. Against, well, probably the biggest hard counter for this deck, Loon Freeze, because I have no big spell for the Loon. I have no big spell that touches air. I just have Earthquake, and it does nothing in this matchup. So yeah, I was hoping it wasn't gonna be a Loon when he played his bowler, so I went Hog opposite lane, but it was Loon Freeze. He had NATO. He goes for this. Yeah, I go for Log to just take down the Lumberjack. I believe he just lets it go. Okay. Well, the reason why I lost my 10th game, by the way, if you're wondering, is because I played a top 200 player in the world. So that's why I lost playing against RG. And yeah, that's not the greatest of matchups, because he has that Fisherman, and I have no snowball to push it away. So, yep, that's why I lost the GC. That's not me making excuses or anything. In this matchup, I'm fine with taking a bit of damage in single elixir, but he's not fine with taking a bit of damage in single elixir, because I run a chip cycle deck, and he runs making a big push and then taking chunks from your tower deck. So it doesn't really matter if I take like a bit of chip damage at the start, because he needs to break through, and if he breaks through, I basically just lose. So yeah, yeah, I can take a bit of chip damage. I hope I'm making sense here. If I'm not, then oh well, go subscribe. Okay. Anyway, I get 2 hits there because he doesn't have his NATO in cycle, because he used it on the Firecracker, which is debatable, but it is what it is. I believe I go for pre-Tesla. Yeah, You want to pre-Tesla in this matchup. The Tesla's the best defense to the balloon, so you want to pre-Tesla and then cycle back to another Tesla. Here, I probably actually I Tesla in the middle. The reason being is that he can go opposite lane as soon as like he can go opposite lane whenever he wants to, and I just lose if I have my Tesla in the opposite lane. Here I cycle back to another Tesla, but that was probably a mistake because the bowler kind of splashes it, and he gets death damage, so that's not the greatest. Here I would go the hog, but he goes with the bowler, which is just such a hard counter, honestly. The bowler is such a hard counter, the NATO is such a hard counter, all his dragons is such hard counters, and the freeze, balloon freeze combo. Yeah, this is probably the worst matchup for Hog Cycle. Rather than like maybe like Lava Hound or something, but this is like really, really bad. Here we're basically on even damage. He should be playing, in my opinion, the bowlers. Okay, anyone who wants to get decent at this deck, because I actually play this deck. Anyone that wants to get good at this deck, you want to be playing your bowlers at the corner of the either side, which your opponent who's playing Hog Cycle wants to go hog in. So you want to play in the corner, so if he goes hog, he only gets like 1 or 2 hits, and then you have that full health bowler, and you have that extra time because you played in the corner. Anyway, for this game, yeah, as you can see, he actually that's the one downside of playing the Tesla in the middle. It actually just bypasses the balloon, and he gets a hit there because I played the Tesla like half a second too late. I'm just like, damn, I'm gonna lose this game. I was fully expecting to lose this game because, you know, that's absolute hard counter. He's up by like what, 500 damage, and he has that NATO boulder combination, which just ruins my existence. He just goes in here, and like I realized too late that like the balloon just goes for the other Tesla and then goes for my tower, which is just really sad. He gets death damage. There's like what, a couple of seconds left. He freezes a tower, which is how I win. He fails. I mean, he freezes, overcommits, and his tower's on 20 HP, and I'm like, oh, I can just earthquake. He doesn't have enough elixir for tornado. Well, he did at the end, but he didn't get it down fast enough, and we win. We take these. We're on 10 wins. I mean, we're on 9 wins, but we lose the grand challenge, which is very sad. However, that was a good video. Thank you for watching. Go and subscribe, okay? Otherwise, things are going to happen to you, okay? Go and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Maybe I'll upload more after exam finishes, but we have like, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks left of exams. Maybe after then I will upload more. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.